Welcome to my material and equipment video clip series where I describe the variety of materials and equipment I use in my painting process. In this video I'm going to describe how I use the Silver Black Velvet Series 325S Jumbo Round Small. It's a squirrel synthetic blend, and like most of the Silver Black Velvet brushes, they're not inexpensive, but they're by no means the most expensive. They're I consider a mid-range brush. And it's a very soft, versatile wash brush, and it's by far one of my favorites. So here's an example of a painting that I'm doing with this brush, and it's a old barn, and you can see the nice brush strokes I can make, the nice coverage I get. The brush holds a lot of water, and even though it's very soft, you can still get I'll call a dull point on it to make some pointed type marks, and it does a nice job of letting you bring rich washes into one another and let them gradiate. And here I'm coming down near the bottom of this building. I'm carrying that tone off into the background, and I'm going to bring some of this tone into the foreground and try and make some expressive brush strokes along the ground that give the suggestion of some patterns in the ground and coming more towards the foreground. And again, this brush is very good for making some expressive brush strokes. This is a painting of a misty lake with pine trees, and I'm taking this jumbo round small wash brush and giving the suggestion of these pine trees. And again, you can see I can get kind of a dull point on these, and I come in, and this is still a very juicy mixture that I'm putting down. It has a lot of water in it, and I come back with a spray bottle, and that just really softens it up more and gives a nice effect. And I work back and forth with the spray bottle in this particular brush, and it gives me this nice soft feeling, this atmosphere for this painting. But you can see I can come in, I'm painting wet on wet now with this brush, and it's holding its shape enough to give me the suggestion of some pine trees there. But it's very soft. Here's a painting where I'm using this brush to paint the rocky shoreline. I've painted the trees with this brush and spraying water on it, and you can see that I'm able to make some expressive brush strokes and leave the brush stroke alone. This does a nice job covering it. I don't have to fiddle with it, and I can give a nice sense of direction and angularity on some of these rocks by changing the direction I make my brush stroke. And it just does a nice job of painting a lot of different subjects, and it feels to me like what I'd call a watercolor brush. It just feels like that. This is by far one of my favorite brushes that I have. Here I'm taking the brush, and this is a fall scene with some leaves, some foliage, and some branches, and I'm putting down kind of what I call a foundation wash. I'm putting down a variety of colors. Again, very wet application. It's wet on dry, but my brush is loaded, and then I spray it with this water to soften some of the edges up, and come back with my brush to put a few darker values in here. And it has just a nice touch when you're putting the brush to paper. And then here on this same painting, I'm closer to the end, and I'm putting on a glaze over top of some areas to tie things together, and it does a nice job of softly applying that and not disturbing what's beneath it. So those are some of the ways that I use this jumbo round small Silver Black Velvet brush. It's a very versatile brush. You can find the details about this and all the other materials that I use in my painting process on the studio page of my website, or if you have specific questions, you can email me at contactrsurwitzart@gmail.com.